The tariff trap. Who really pays for Trump's trade war? Rabbit wakes up. Monday morning. Rabbit turns on the TV. News is on. Breaking news. Big announcement. President Trump announces new tariffs. 25% on all imports from Mexico and Canada. 10% on goods from China. Effective immediately. Reporter Kat explains. The president says this will bring jobs back to America and make foreign countries pay their fair share. Rabbit nods. Good. Make them pay. Rabbit goes to work. Normal day. Nothing changes. But something did change. Rabbit just doesn't know it yet. Tuesday morning. Rabbit needs groceries. Rabbit goes to the store. Rabbit picks up avocados. Price tag, 5 leaves. Wait. Last week they were 3 leaves. Rabbit picks up tomatoes. Price tag, 3.50 leaves. Last week, 2 leaves. Rabbit grabs a bag of coffee. Price tag, 12 leaves. Last week, 8 leaves. Everything is more expensive. Rabbit goes to checkout. Cart total last week, 85 leaves. Cart total today, 118 leaves. What happened? Rabbit asks Cashier Cat. Cashier Cat scans items, doesn't look up. Tariffs. What? Tariffs on Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Tomatoes from Mexico. Coffee from Colombia, but it comes through Mexican ports. All hit with the 25% tariff. Rabbit is confused. But the tariff is on Mexico, not on me. Cashier Cat finally looks up. Who do you think pays it? Rabbit doesn't understand. Mexico pays the tariff. Trump said so, on TV. Cashier Cat sighs. No, we pay it. The store pays it when we import. Then we charge you more to cover it. Rabbit stares. That's not how it's supposed to work. Cashier Cat shrugs. That's how it works. Rabbit pays 118 leaves. Rabbit is angry. But Rabbit doesn't know who to be angry at yet. Part 1. What tariffs actually are. Rabbit goes home. Rabbit Googles, how do tariffs work? Here's what Rabbit learns. A tariff is a tax. But not on the foreign country, on the company importing goods into America. Here's how it works. Before tariff. Mexican farm grows avocados. Sells them to American grocery company for 2 leaves per avocado. American grocery company ships them to USA. No tax. American grocery company sells to stores for 2.50 leaves. Stores sell to Rabbit for 3 leaves. Simple. After 25% tariff, Mexican farm grows avocados. Sells them to American grocery company for 2 leaves per avocado. American grocery company ships them to USA. US Customs stops the shipment. That'll be 25% tariff. You owe 0.50 leaves per avocado. American grocery company pays the tax. To the US government, not to Mexico. American grocery company now paid 2.50 per avocado. 2 plus 0.50 tax. American grocery company sells to stores for 3.25 leaves. Stores sell to Rabbit for 5 leaves. Who paid the tariff? Not Mexico. American grocery company paid it. But American grocery company passed the cost to Rabbit by raising prices. Rabbit paid the tariff. Trump said Mexico will pay. But Mexico got the same 2 leaves per avocado as before. Nothing changed for Mexico. Everything changed for Rabbit. Rabbit just paid a 25% tax on groceries, called a tariff. Part 2. The Big Lie. Rabbit watches the news again. President Trump is speaking. These tariffs will make China pay, make Mexico pay. They've been ripping us off for decades. Not anymore. They will pay. Rabbit used to believe this. Now Rabbit knows it's wrong. Tariffs don't make foreign countries pay. Tariffs make American companies pay. American companies make American consumers pay. It's a tax on Americans, disguised as a tax on foreigners. But Rabbit wonders, maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's worth it. Rabbit keeps reading. The argument for tariffs. If we make imported goods more expensive, American companies can compete. We'll bring manufacturing back. We'll create jobs. Sounds good, Rabbit imagines. Mexican avocados now cost 5 leaves. American farmer can grow avocados and sell for 4 leaves. American farmer gets business. American jobs created. That's the theory. Here's the reality. Problem 1. Time. Building a factory takes years. Training workers takes years. Scaling production takes years. Tariffs increase prices now. Jobs might come later, maybe. Meanwhile, Rabbit pays higher prices. For years. Waiting for jobs that might never come. Problem 2. Geography. You can't grow avocados in North Dakota. Climate wrong. Soil wrong. Only certain states can grow them. California, Florida, maybe Texas. But California is already growing avocados. At capacity. Can't grow more. So where do the extra avocados come from? They don't. Tariff makes Mexican avocados expensive, but doesn't create new American avocados. Just makes avocados expensive. For everyone. Problem 3. Labor costs. Mexican farm worker, $2 per hour. American farm worker, $15 per hour. Minimum wage. Even with a 25% tariff, Mexican avocados might still be cheaper. If American farm tries to compete, pays workers $15 per hour. Avocados cost 6 leaves to produce. Mexican avocados plus 25% tariff equals 5 leaves. Americans still can't compete. So American farm doesn't hire anyone. No jobs created. Prices just went up. Rabbit loses. Nobody wins. Part 3. Everything else. Groceries are just the beginning. Electronics. Rabbit needs a new phone. iPhone last month, 1,000 leaves. Today, 1,250 leaves. Parts from South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, China. Each border crossing equals tariff. Final price? Plus 25%. Rabbit keeps old phone. Apple sells fewer phones. Apple lays off workers. American workers. Cars. Rabbit's car breaks down. Ford F-150 last year, 45,000 leaves. This year, 58,000 leaves. Parts from Mexico. Engine from Canada. Assembly in Michigan. All hit with 25% tariff. This is an American truck. Made by an American company, but still destroyed by tariffs. Rabbit keeps old car. Ford cuts shifts. American workers get fewer hours. Everything. Rabbit makes a list. Avocados, plus 67%. Tomatoes, plus 75%. Coffee, plus 50%. iPhone, plus 25%. Cars, plus 29%. Clothes, plus 40%. Made in China, Mexico. Furniture, plus 35%. Imported wood/parts. Rabbit's monthly expenses. Before, 1,208 leaves. After, 1,485 leaves. That's 277 leaves more per month. 3,324 per year. Rabbit didn't get a raise. Rabbit just got poorer. Part 4. The retaliation. Mexico is not happy. Mexico announces, if America puts 25% tariffs on us, we put 25% tariffs on American goods. What does America export to Mexico? Corn, soybeans, machinery, cars, electronics. American corn farmer. Cat was selling corn to Mexico. Made 500,000 leaves per year. Now Mexico puts 25% tariff on American corn. Mexican buyers can't afford it. They buy corn from Brazil instead. American corn farmer. Cat loses customers, loses income, lays off workers. American factory making tractors was selling to Mexico. Now Mexico tariffs American tractors. Mexican farmers buy Chinese tractors instead. American factory loses sales, cuts production, lays off workers. This is called a trade war. We tariff them, they tariff us. Both sides lose. Except politicians. Politicians get to say, I'm tough on China/Mexico. Sounds good in speeches. But rabbit loses. Farmer cat loses. Factory workers lose. Only politicians win. Part 5. The History. This happened before. 1930. Grandfather Rabbit owned a farm, wheat farm in Kansas. Sold most of his crop to Canada. Made good money. Supported his family. Then Congress passed Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Massive tariffs on thousands of products. Politicians said, "This will protect American farmers. Make foreign countries pay." Grandfather Rabbit believed them. 2 months later, Canada announced retaliatory tariffs. 25% on American wheat. Canadian buyers couldn't afford American wheat anymore. They switched to wheat from Argentina. Cheaper. Grandfather Rabbit lost his export customers. Overnight. He tried selling domestically, but American market was already saturated. Too much supply. Prices crashed. Couldn't pay his mortgage. Bank foreclosed. Lost the farm. Grandfather's son asked, "Why did this happen?" Grandfather Rabbit, "Politicians said they were helping us." Great Depression got worse. Unemployment went from 8% to 25%. Trade collapsed. Economy destroyed. Every economics textbook says, Smoot-Hawley made the Depression deeper and longer. Politicians know this. They learned it in school. But they do it anyway. Because I'm tough on trade wins elections, even if the policy destroys lives. Part 6. The Promise. 5 years after tariffs, election time. Politician cat campaigns. Look, we brought manufacturing back. 1,800 new factory jobs. Ribbon cutting ceremony. New steel plant in Pennsylvania. 800 jobs. Cameras everywhere. Workers in hard hats. American flags. Politicians celebrate. Rabbit's friend got hired there. One of the 800. Friend is excited. "See? Tariffs worked. I have a job." Rabbit is happy for friend. But Rabbit notices something. Friend makes 3,500 leaves per month. Good salary. But friend's grocery bill went from 350 to 510. Friend's car payment went from 450 to 580. New cars more expensive. Friend's rent went up. Landlord passed costs through. Friend pays 400 leaves more per month. For everything. Friend gained a job, but lost purchasing power. Meanwhile, Rabbit lost his job. Rabbit worked at electronics factory. Factory couldn't afford tariffed components. Factory closed. Laid off 200 workers. Rabbit now works retail. Makes 2,400 per month. 800 less than before. And pays higher prices. Friend, at least I have a job because of tariffs. Rabbit, I had a job before tariffs. What politicians don't say. 1,800 manufacturing jobs created. 28,000 other jobs lost. Net, minus 26,200 jobs. But politicians only show the wins, hide the losses. Cameras at the ribbon cutting, no cameras at the factory closings. Part 7. Who pays? Rich cat makes 50,000 leaves per month. Groceries went from 800 to 1,100. Extra cost, 300 per month. That's 0.6% of income. Rabbit makes 2,847 per month after tax. Groceries went from 350 to 510. Extra cost, 160 per month. That's 5.6% of income. 10 times more painful. Rabbit's total costs before tariffs. Groceries, 350. Gas, 200. Phone, 28. Rent, 1,200. Utilities, 150. Clothes, 100. Everything else, 80. Total, 2,108. Money left over, 739 per month. After tariffs, groceries, 510, plus 160. Gas, 250, plus 50. Phone, 35, plus 7. Rent, 1,200. Utilities, 170, plus 20. Clothes, 135, plus 35. Everything else, 105, plus 25. Total, 2,405. Money left over, 442 per month. Rabbit lost 297 leaves per month. That's 40% of savings. Gone. Can't save for emergency fund. Can't save for down payment on house. Can't invest. Can't build wealth. Just surviving. Paycheck to paycheck. Because of tariffs. Tariffs are a regressive tax. Hit the poor hardest. Closing. Rabbit is 35 now. 10 years after the tariff started. Rabbit adapted. Stopped buying avocados. Too expensive. Buys local produce instead. Cheaper, but less variety. Keeps driving old car. Can't afford new one. Repairs cost more. Parts expensive. But still cheaper than new car payment. Delayed buying house. Needed $50,000 for down payment. With tariffs, can only save $5,000 per year. 10 years to save. Canceled vacations. Stopped eating out. Cut spending everywhere. Rabbit's life is smaller than it should be. But Rabbit survives. Rich cat still eats avocados. Still buys new iPhone every year. Still takes vacations. Doesn't notice the tariffs. Young Rabbit, 22 years old, just got first job. Excited about future. Young Rabbit goes grocery shopping. Avocados, 5 leaves. Tomatoes, 3.50 leaves. Young Rabbit doesn't know. These used to cost half as much. 10 years ago, before tariffs. Young Rabbit thinks this is normal. Old Rabbit, our Rabbit, watches. Remembers when avocados were 3 leaves. Remembers when life was bigger. When you could save money. When you could plan for future. Young Rabbit doesn't know what was lost. Young Rabbit will hear politicians say, "We need tariffs to bring jobs back." Young Rabbit will believe them, just like Old Rabbit did 10 years ago. And Young Rabbit will pay for another 10 years. Life will shrink. Young Rabbit will adapt. Will think it's normal. Will forget there was ever anything else. This is the tariff trap. Not that you pay once, but that you pay forever. And eventually, you forget you're paying at all. You think this is just how life is. Expensive groceries, old cars, delayed dreams, smaller life, normal. But it's not normal. It's the result of policy. Policy that promised to help. Policy that destroyed instead. Politicians got reelected. Ribbon-cutting ceremonies. Look, 1,800 jobs! Nobody counted the 28,000 lost. Nobody counted the millions paying more. Nobody counted the dreams delayed, the lives made smaller. Old Rabbit knows. Young Rabbit will learn. The hard way, just like every generation before. Because the promise sounds good, and reality is complicated. And by the time you understand, you've already paid. For years. Rabbits together strong.